everyone, and welcome. This is a class recording on food for kids who are 10 years and older. But just so you know, we also have other classes designed especially for younger kids, even for children as young as 4 years old. Let me also remind you how our whole course is designed. We are not randomly picking topics. We are going step by step through the 12 houses of human life. Each house represents one important area of life, like personality, family, learning, relationships, work, and spirituality. Each house also has attributes that explain how life works. And together, these 12 houses cover the entire journey of a human being from birth to purpose. Right now, we are in the second house. This house talks about speech, values, wealth, and food. We have already studied the first two attributes, wealth and speech. And today we are focusing on the third attribute, food. This is so important because food is the link between our body, our mind, and our speech. The second house reminds us that what we eat becomes the words we speak and the values we live by. Please enjoy this class and don't forget to share it with your friends so they can also learn with us.
Okay, so so we'll study about food, and I think the question that may come up in your mind is that we eat food every day. So why do we need to study it? Um, isn't food just something to fill your stomach, right? Actually, food is much bigger than that. Food is the foundation of our body, the fuel for our brain, and sharper for our emotions and speech. Okay, and from I will talk about two angles. One is from science perspective and the other one is from Vedas perspective. From science, every cell in our body is made from food. You are aware of it. In fact, if you do some research, in about every 7 years, and every life form has a little bit of a different way of how it works, but on an average, in about every 7 years, almost every cell in our body is replaced, and what replaces it is the food we eat. Okay, our brain, which controls thinking, memory, decision making abilities, uses 20% of all the energy in our body, and this energy comes from the food. Even our mood, the way we think, our moods, whether we feel happy or sad, are connected to food. Almost 95% of serotonin, the happy chemical serotonin that makes us feel happy and calm, is made in our stomach, and that's why scientists always call our stomach as second brain. So science is very clear that food is just not taste, it is the life itself. Now, from Veda's perspective, thousands of years ago, rishis already understood this. So in the Vedas, they said that Anam Brahma, that means food is divine energy. They also say in Vedas, in the Upanishads, and you will see that when you kind of go into the slide, that Yatha Anam Tatha Mana, Yatha Mana Tatha Vak. And we studied Vak in the last class, that is speech. So what does this line means in Sanskrit is that as is food, so is the mind, and as is the mind, so are the words. That means the food we eat doesn't shape our body, it shapes our thoughts, our speech, our friendship, and even our destiny, right? So it is a very important subject that we need to study today. Now, I will ask questions to you guys after I teach two important topics on food, and you guys shall be able to answer me. I will include the information in the form of science and Vedas together. And you being a bit elder, you should be able to understand what I'm trying to kind of share that in the science. And if not, please learn through it, note it down, and then I'm going to ask questions. Okay. All right. Let's go to the first topic. So what are we going to study in food? We are going to study food is a divine energy. Food shapes our thoughts and words. Food is sharing, food is balance, and food connects us to the universe. We will talk about the first two topics today, and then we will jump into Hanuman Chalisa. Okay. There is a video that we created for younger kids. I think it is an important video for you to see as well. And I'm pretty sure you guys would be already aware of that information, but there is no harm in seeing the repetitive information again or actually accessing it again. Okay. So let us talk about food, why our Vedas and Rishis have called it as food as divine energy. So let's zoom into something as tiny as a one grain of rice. Just think about it, okay? And now from here onwards, please make sure you're noting it down and you're collecting the information because I'm going to ask you a question. So a single grain of rice. So do you know what had to happen for that single grain to reach your plate? First, the sun shines on the plant. The plant takes the sunlight and do something magical called photosynthesis, which you have already learnt in your school. Photosynthesis. They turn sunlight into sugar, storing the energy of sun into themselves. Then the clouds bring rain. Without water, the plants can't transport minerals or grow. So 70 to 90% of the rice grain is actually water from rain and soil that has been locked inside as a starch. Okay? The soil holds the seed like a mother. And inside the soil are billions of tiny living microbes. And in 1 teaspoon of healthy soil, there are more living organisms than human on earth. These microbes help break down minerals so the plants can eat. Okay, next comes the farmer. So he or she wakes up at 5 a.m., stands in the knee deep mud, and works under the hot sun or in the cold wind. Without farmers, food would never leave the field, right? Then another angle comes into the mix, which is so important that you guys should be aware, and you're already aware of it, that our parents go to work, they earn money, they go through a regular enormous amount of stress. Sometimes they don't even share that with you because they do not want to actually have their kids know that they're going through some sort of stress. They earn money, they buy the rice, they bring it home, someone cooks it, your mom, your dad, your grandma, sometimes you as well, and with love, and then it serves as a warm food on your plate. So when you see rice, it's just not a single rice. It's a sunlight, water, earth, microbes, farmer sweat, your parents' effort, the uh, all the cooking that is gone, all the love that has gone into the food, and all in that one single bite that comes to you. Now here is where science and Vedas meet. Okay, that tiny rice grain is 70 to 80% carbohydrates. Okay, now carbohydrates are basically stored. It's our basically stored sunlight. So when you eat the rice, your body breaks it down into glucose. You're aware of it. If not, please note it down. When you eat the carbohydrates, it, it breaks it down into glucose. The glucose travels into blood and feeds every single cell, including your brain. Now, another fact to be taken into consideration. Did you know that brain uses, and I just said that initially in the class, that 20% of the energy in your body, that energy comes from the food you eat, meaning your thoughts and ideas are literally powered by sun stored inside rice, right? Now, even more cooler thought to it. NASA has studied rice as a food for astronaut because it packs up so much stable energy in a tiny grain. Okay, and that is why Vedas declare Anam Brahma, food is divine, because the food is not just matter. It is the cosmic energy of the universe transformed into a life inside you. So next time you pick up a spoon of rice, or fruit, don't just say I'm hungry, I will eat. Say wow, I am, and in your mind you should know about this and tell your friends as well that I am about to eat sunlight, rain, earth, microbes, human effort, God's blessing all at once. And that is why food is sacred. And I'll tell you why this is going to change in the next slide. But before that, I want to actually talk a little bit about the video, or maybe we'll show you the video that we created for the kids. um, you may find it very simple, but at least go through it. And if you have any questions, we'll go through that, and then we will jump into the topic why food shapes our thoughts. Okay. And I hope you guys have written the information that I shared, because I shared enormous more information to you guys than I could share to the younger kids, right? Where we spoke about serotonin, where we spoke about how much carbohydrates is being used, how is the sunlight being stored in the starch, how the brain cells are using the energy, right? What is Anam Brahma? How is the cosmic energy of the universe is transformed into the life inside you? A lot of information coming to you. We will go through a Q&A after we see the video.
Cannot hear things.
Yeah, there is some audio problem.
Yeah. Understood. Understood. No problem. Now you will be able to hear.
Hi, friends. Let's take a moment and think how this food came all the way to your plate. Let's imagine the journey together. It begins with the bright sun who gives his golden light every day. The clouds send gentle rain, and the soil hugs the little seed like a mother holding her baby. Slowly, the seed grows into plants full of grains, fruits, and vegetables. Then comes the farmer. He wakes up before sunrise, working hard in the hot sun and cold winds, just so we can have food to eat. Every grain of rice, every apple, every drop of milk carries the farmer's effort. But there's another part of the story too, our parents. While the farmer is growing the food, our parents are also working hard every day, earning money. With that money, they go to the store, walk through the aisles, choose the best food, and bring it home for us with love. At home, someone washes it, cuts it, stirs it, and cooks it carefully. Finally, the plate is set before us, warm, fresh, and full of strength. So when we look at the food on our plate, it's not just rice or vegetables. It's the sunshine, the rain, the farmer's hard work, the shopkeeper's effort, and our parents' love and earnings too. That's why, before I eat, I like to close my eyes and whisper, "Thank you." Thank you to the sun, the earth, the farmer, the shopkeeper, and thank you to mom and dad for working so hard to bring this food home. Because every bite of food is not just food, it is love, care, effort, and life itself.
Okay. Now this video, for you guys, you would be thinking, fine, we know this information. Guys, there is a very important part to this video that you guys will understand when you reach to a stage of 30s, age of 30. And the reason behind that is many a times as a kids, we are unable to, when we see the face or when we meet somebody else, we somehow cannot understand the effort the other person would have put in on doing anything. Right now, when you talk to your parents, it's very daily life for you. When you talk to the shopkeeper as well, it's like very daily conversations with the shopkeeper. But there is a lot of effort everybody is putting in for the food. And when you are actually eating the food, either whether you like it or not, you guys should understand that if somebody is putting an effort, because you are going to put an effort after some time to reach to anything, whether you are going to put an effort by for you cooking for your kids in future, if somebody puts an effort, you should always thank to them, and then the luck factor activates. The gratitude is very important. Sometimes As you are learning, you're coming here into this class because your parents believe into spirituality. You do the mantras, you do the prayers. And why? Because in their life they have experienced the support from the divine being. They have experienced how the luck factors, and that is the reason they want you to actually access this information. Many times you guys would be seeing your parents are doing a lot of prayer at home. The reason I bring up this information is because you guys need to be grateful with respect to what you're getting. That is one of the initiatives of activating your luck. That luck can be activated while you are in a competitive exam. That luck can be activated when you're in a debate. You need really luck for yourself, and we call it as bhagya, because if luck is not supporting you, all the effort that you're going to put in is gonna go waste, or you may have to put in 200% of effort to only get 10% out of it. So always make sure you show gratitude in everything that is being that is being given to you, and food is one of the areas where you should be grateful to your parents, and you should always say them thank you, at least to the parents, because you cannot just go to the shopkeeper or the farmer right now, but at least to parents you should say when they're cooking something for you, right? All right. Do you have any questions right now in the first slide? Okay, there is no question. What does that sound? Is it a chat or okay? I'll ask a question to you guys, couple of questions, and I'll try to see if you guys are ready for it.
Anup uncle, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like we learned, is food also a principle of life? Because, like food, I thought food is just something we eat, but after you explained it, I was wondering if food is actually a principle of life. Is that true? Have you
So
considered that?
there are different definitions of principle, but what you are referring to is food is. Um, are you saying that food is one of the very important part of life? Is what you are referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is, and I'll tell you why. Because as we move further into next classes and as you learn a little bit more, you would realize that food is going to shape up your destiny as well. What you eat actually is gonna bring up the thoughts in your mind, and with those thoughts you will be able to actually act with respect to the decisions that you take as well. Food is a very important principle in your life. Let's say if you wake up in the morning and if you don't eat anything and you feel hungry, and if you continue to remain hungry for few hours, then you would see that your brain is acting in a very different manner, and you are start feeling frustrated and cranky, or either you are actually you don't have any energy, right? So at that time, if you eat wrong food, then we're going to study in the next slide what happens. But if you eat the right food, you will have enough ability to take right decisions for your next steps, right? First of all, you are hungry and you are unable to eat itself is because you have not taken something, you have taken a wrong decision, or something happened in a wrong calculation where you could not eat the food on time, right? That is
Yeah.
actually, and then it's like a chain, then it's you are not able to take a right decision for your next step as well. So food definitely is a very important, in your terms, principle of your life, but food is very important. Okay, let's go to the next topic about. So let's think about this. Now, have you ever noticed how food changes your mood, right? Whether you feel happy or sad. Maybe you were in school and you had too much sugar, or maybe cake, or maybe too much chocolate during recess, right? And suddenly you felt hyper, you felt restless, and you will sometimes, when we eat sugar, we feel even giggly actually. But hours later, as you are gonna grow elder, maybe 6 hours later, you will you can actually see the pattern of your life. You will feel sleepy, cranky, and even annoyed with the smaller things that you may not even realize, but you will be able to, if you actually now gonna note it. Eat a lot of sugar, after some time, after 6 hours, you can feel that you will be a little bit annoyed. Every personality is different. Sometimes, some kids will just stay quiet because they don't want to talk to anybody. They'll be in their room Some kids will be very much vocal, will be very much frustrated. Some kids will feel very sleepy. Some gets cranky. Some can get even annoyed with the smaller things as well. That's the behavior you get after eating a lot of sugar, for example. Now, or think about another day when you had a proper breakfast, maybe rice, maybe fruit, or maybe milk. You probably felt steady, focused in class, calmer with your friends, and you are happy as well, right? So clearly, food is not just about stomach. It directly shapes how we feel, how we speak. Now, when we eat junk food, let's take an example of chocolate bar or soda. When you eat them, sugar enters your blood very fast. The blood sugar spikes like a rocket. Your brain suddenly gets flood of quick energy, and that's why you feel excited, restless, or maybe even more over talkative. But soon the sugar level crashes. You feel tired, cranky, maybe even irritated, right? So what the science says is that eating too much sugar messes with dopamine, okay? And dopamine is the reward chemical. You can note it down. Dopamine is reward chemical. So at first you feel good, but later you feel worse than before. And that's why kids who eat too much of junk food often struggle to focus in class or in any study, in anything they are studying, and sometimes even argue or snap at others without any meaning to it. Now, when we eat a healthy food, let's look at the fruit, rice, or vegetable. This food releases, now I'm talking about fruit or rice or vegetables, okay? These foods will release glucose slowly. The blood sugar stays steady, not up and down. Your brain gets smooth, long lasting energy, and you feel calmer, more focused, less irritated. So, natural food like banana, rice, milk help produce another chemical. The name of the chemical is serotonin. Serotonin is very important. It's a very happy chemical, and that's why we feel peaceful after a good meal. Now, what Vedas taught us thousands of years ago, long before the modern science discovered dopamine and serotonin, that Vedas already gave us a formula. That means yatha anam tatha mana, yatha mana tatha vak. That means as is the food, so is the mind, so is the mind, so is the speech. So if we eat good balanced food, our mind becomes calm and steady. A calm mind produces kind and thoughtful words. A kind word creates strong friendship and harmony in family. So even if you see the diet of President of United States of America, the people who are giving him food, they're being very, very, very calculative. They are just not going and giving him a burger. They are making sure that he gets all the right food, so he can represent the country very properly when he's giving the speech. He is able to think properly when the question is coming towards him, and that's the reason the diets are very specifically designed. And you see how the billionaires eat, how the millionaires eat. They eat very right and calculative food, so they can take very impressive decisions for them to gain the good ROI out of the money that they are investing. You will never see a millionaire or billionaire going and eating junk food, never ever, right? So keep in mind, what you eat is very important for you to take right decisions. The small things will help you achieve a lot. Even if you go and want to appear for an exam for being a doctor, you need to actually start preparing. And you have to, when you start preparing, it starts from the food itself. What are you going to eat? How are you going to bring yourself in discipline? And then how is your brain going to be more focused? So your our food literally shapes our relationship as well. Now let's talk about some surprising facts. Um, the gut and brain connection, which has been very well called out in Vedas as well as science. You should know that gut, our stomach, and brain. So, do you know that your stomach is often called the second brain? So, if you know, that's good. If not, you should be aware of it. If somebody says, "Where is your second brain?" It's your stomach. That's the bottom line. It's your stomach. That's because about, and why is it called? Because 95% of serotonin the happy chemical is made in your gut and not in your brain. Okay, so when you feed, or when we feed our gut good food, we actually make our brain happier. But when we eat junk, we disturb the bacteria, the gut bacteria that affects our mood. One is that. Second, food and memory is very important. How it is correlational, let's talk about it. Studies shows that diets with high in sugar, fried food, it reduces uh, hippocampus function in the brain. That's a part of the brain that stores memory. Okay, so the food directly affects how we learn and in school, right? Third is the correlation between the food and anger calmness. um, I'll give you an example of omega-3. So omega-3 fatty acid from things like flax seeds, walnuts, and other things, whatever gives you the omega-3 fatty acids, it helps you reduce the aggression and make people calmer. Now scientists now proves what Vedas hinted, that food can shape your personality, right? And that's what these guys are doing. The top notch 1%, 2% of the humans are already utilizing that up to their top, best of the benefit. And even if you want to go through that journey of becoming the 1%, you really need to make sure that you are actually doing that. Okay, these are the two slides that I had, which I wanted to present. And apart from that, there was Hanuman Chalisa, which I wanted to take. Shiva sir, you think it's okay to us to invest more 8-9 minutes into the Hanuman Chalisa, and then we'll have
Sure. I think you have time, because we
Okay.
started at 3:15, 2:15, right? You have more time.
All right. So before we do Hanuman Chalisa, there are a few important points I think we'll talk about. Let me share my screen. Now, before I do that, how many of you guys are already? Do you know how to? Do you guys are aware of Hanuman Chalisa? Okay. Do you guys thorough it, like you know it very well? Like you can just read it without even seeing a book. Is that right?
Yeah.
Who said Viraj? Okay, Viraj, you are aware of Hanuman Chalisa very well. Okay, good to know that. What about Harini, Nikita, Kirti?
I know Charlie. I only know half of it.
Okay. Nikita, how about you?
I can read it.
You can read it. Okay. Kirti?
I can read it.
Perfect. Ishani, very nice. You already know the whole Hanuman Chalisa. Lipika, how about you?
I know the whole Hanuman Chalisa.
Okay. Milan Ram?
He said that she can read it.
She can read it. Okay.
No,
Shlok?
I don't know that much of Hanuman Chalisa.
That's fine. That's fine. We will learn through it. How about Shlok? You? Can you read it? Can you tell Hanuman Chalisa without even reading it? Or can you read it only for now? Okay, I know there is an issue with your just give me thumbs up whether you can read it, because I'm unable to hear you. But can you read it, or is maybe your Bluetooth is connected? I don't know. But
It's
can
on
you
mute.
read? No, actually, that phone has an issue. When they are unmuting, still I'm unable to hear them. So could be the reason. But that's okay. Try to fix it when you can. Okay, very nice. Shri, you can also recite it. Great. Okay. Now, let me just try to see if I can open up the details about Hanuman Chalisa.
In the meantime, I can ask a question. So
Yes,
kids
please go
that
ahead, sir.
cannot that know memorized, how are you able to memorize it?
I had a class.
You had a class?
I had a class.
I just keep repeating it again and again.
Papa just taught me.
Okay. What about Viraj?
Just like repetition and learning with my parents.
Yeah, repetition. Nice. So the kids who can read it, so remember that. Like, so the more you repeat, the more you learn. That's how everybody else memorized it. So, and now with the Anubhav sir's teachings, you would even know the meaning while you are memorizing it. That's even better, right? So,
Okay. I'll share my screen now. Okay, great. So guys, before we learn about, we will only learn the first line today. And then going forward, the way it's going to happen is that I want you guys to read Hanuman Chalisa, the lines that we are learning in the class, everybody together. Today is the first line that we're going to learn. And then we will actually learn about the other lines. But before we go to Hanuman Chalisa, we should really know about how it came into existence. Okay, and then what really happened that Hanuman Chalisa got so famous and not the other mantras of Hanuman right away, right? And in the first class, I actually gave one mantra to the younger kids. That mantra was Om Shri Hanumate Nama. Okay? Om Shri Hanumate Nama. You don't have to say Han for now. Om Shri Hanumate Nama. Okay, can you guys just unmute yourself and just say it loud for me? Just a very simple Om Shri Hanumate Nama.
Om
Shri Hanumate Namo.
Om Shri Hanumate Namo.
Right. So there is a reason I am talking about this mantra, and it's a very key important mantra that you guys should be. Because
Shlok, we are able to hear you.
Yes. And Nikita, next time, Nikita, I'm going to ask you to actually read the first line first. Okay? Because yeah, so just be aware of it. You should be prepared for it and make sure you come for the class, next class. Okay? Make sure kids have to come and you too. Perfect. All right. So, before we start, you guys should be, so are you guys aware of Ramayana and Mahabharata?
Excuse me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now, Shlok. Very nice. You had a question, right? Go ahead.
No, I didn't have a question.
Okay, perfect. So let's, by the way, I had a question for you. Do you know Hanuman Chalisa without even reading into the books or like without reading it? Can you just?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Very nice, Shlok. All right. Okay, we will do a time travel for now. Okay. We will go back to the journey 7,000 years back. Now, there are different people. There are various scholars has called it a different time frame, and I do not want to focus on time frame for now, but we are going to the age of where the Ramayana came into existence. Okay, so in the Ramayana, you have heard about the story of brave prince named Rama, who was there, and he was fighting against Ravan. And we will talk about Ramayana in one of the classes in a very deeper manner. I don't like to read the stories, rather, I would like to connect science and Vedas together and showcase it to make it sense to you guys. So I'm just keeping it very short. That what happened in that story was that Hanuman came into the story by showcasing that he was able to fly, he was able to lift mountains, and he was super devoted to the Lord Rama. So the story was about Ramayana, and that's the first time the world saw Hanuman's superpower and greatness. Okay, but back then there was no Hanuman Chalisa. Okay, how did people pray to Hanuman? They used to use the old Sanskrit mantras like secret codes. One of the very secret code is Om Shri Hanumate Nama. Okay, you guys should be aware of this mantra. Om Shri Hanumate Nama. Then there was a Hanuman Gayatri mantra, and there were a lot of different mantras and pujas that were done. So those were hard to understand. Only scholars could chant them. So the families used to call priest for help. And later in the Mahabharata, Hanuman again comes back and meets Bhima and helps Arjun too. And more prayers were created, but in Sanskrit. Then, about 500 years ago, in the Mughal era, a saint named Tulsidas wanted Hanuman's love to reach everyone, not just priests, not just scholars, but children, but for children, parents, and for grandparents too. So he wrote the Hanuman Chalisa in Hindi, the language of the people. Right? Everybody used to kind of understand Hindi at that time. So from then on, the world could sing Hanuman's glory with, I would say, love, strength, and devotion. And that's why today the Hanuman Chalisa is most loved prayer of all. Now, um, I will play a video quickly for you guys to know how I've played this for the younger kids, but you guys should be aware of it, on how it came into existence. By the way, Tulsidas ji was based out of either Chitrakoot or Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so you guys should be aware of it.
Today, I'm going to
Let's
tell
go through
you
the
a very
story.
special story, the real story of how the Hanuman Chalisa came into this world. In our earlier classes, we learned about the sacred God books, the Vedas, Upanishads, epics, Puranas, and Smritis. One of the most famous epics is the Ramayana, and besides Lord Rama, the true hero of that story is Hanuman, strong, wise, and full of love. Now let's travel back about 500 years to the time of a great saint named Tulsidas. He lived in Varanasi or Chitrakoot and spent his life sharing the story of Rama with everyone around him. But back then, the Ramayana was written in Sanskrit, which only Brahmins and scholars could read. Most people didn't understand it. So Tulsidas did something amazing. He rewrote the Ramayana in Hindi, the language people spoke every day, so everyone could read it and feel close to Lord Rama. As more people started praying to Rama, the Mughal emperor grew upset. Kings in that time wanted people to praise them, not God. So he ordered Tulsidas to be put in prison, but inside the jail, Tulsidas didn't get scared. He sat quietly, closed his eyes, and did exactly what we practice in class: slow breathing, calm thoughts, and focus on the heart. And in that deep stillness, something amazing happened. Hanuman appeared inside him as a light, a voice in the heart, and gave him the sacred words of the Hanuman Chalisa, written in Hindi. Tulsidas began chanting it in the prison. And then, a miracle. Hundreds of monkeys came jumping on the prison walls and gates. The guards panicked, and the emperor, seeing this divine event, freed Tulsidas immediately. From that day, the Hanuman Chalisa spread across India, a prayer simple enough for everyone, and a gift from Hanuman himself.
Okay, perfect. Let's go into the Hanuman Chalisa, and then if any questions, we'll try to cover those. Um, what does this line say? The first line is, and you guys are, I think most of you guys are already aware of Hanuman Chalisa, so I'm just going to read it, and then I'm going to quickly talk about it. I'm not going into the presentation mode because looks like there is an audio file attached to it, and if I play that, then you will hear that song that has been sang by a 5-year-old. So I'll just play it until this line that
Anubhav,
yeah.
just a quick thought. Can you also share that? Remember, for the little kids, you shared the video of like how it's taught in schools in India.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
that's important, like for these guys to know that too.
Okay. Sure. So what I'll do is, Shiva, I'll quickly explain this line and then I will
Okay.
come out of this canvas and I'll explain them. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
So just hear this first line again, so you guys should be aware of.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुरु सुधारी वरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार.
All right. Let's go into the meaning of these lines. And guys, so we are studying this Hanuman Chalisa. Understand this, you are 10-year-old right now, 12-year-old. You don't have the amount of experience that you're about to go. I will tell you my story. I have been in very tough situations in my life and I have read Hanuman Chalisa, and I'm pretty sure your parents would have done that as well. And it brings you out of that situation. Not only it brings you out, it takes you out so powerfully well that actually it gives you 10 times more benefit of the situation where you're already at. Okay. And in every situation it works out. So you guys should be aware of it very well. It's like a magic pill that is taken when you are in the most difficult situation and you are already broken down in everything. Okay. And the way you can make it work is you should know Hanuman, you should be reading Hanuman Chalisa every single day. So you practice it very well and do it well. Okay, we'll get it going. So first line is Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Manu Mukur Sudhari. What does that mean? So the first line says, Shri Guru Charan, before I begin, I bow to my Guru, my teacher. And why start with the teacher? Because a guru is like a guide holding a flashlight in the dark. Okay, you might have the strength to walk, but without the light, you will trip. You do not know where you want to go. So Guru shows you the path. Okay. Now even Hanuman had a guru, the sun god, Surya. Imagine learning from the sun itself. Every morning when Surya rose, when sun came up, Hanuman ran alongside, learning wisdom and humility. Right? That is why even the mightiest go the first. That means I would say, even in the even whatsoever you are, even though you are a millionaire, billionaire, you need to really respect your teacher. That's what that line is kind of trying to show. And you could see, if you search on YouTube, Putin, Russian president, the world is afraid of him, but this guy actually goes in front of the teacher, his teacher, which he saw, and he's so, he bows himself down. And maybe next time I'll show you that video. If you respect your teacher, the world will respect you. Okay. Second line is that Nij Manu Mukur Sudhari. That means the mind is a mirror. Our mind is like a mirror. The mirror's job is very simple, to reflect what it sees, right? To reflect very clearly. But what happens if dust is on the mirror, or if the mirror collects the dust? You see nothing out of it. So in same way, our mind should reflect the truth, the knowledge, and the goodness. And when it's covered by dust of things like anger, laziness, jealousy, fear, we cannot see clearly. So we get confused. Now, have you noticed that whenever you are angry, even a good friend seems like an enemy? And that's the dust. When you are lazy, even the smallest task feels impossible. That's the dust. When you are jealous, even someone's success feels like our loss, and that's the dust. So what this line is trying to tell is that before you are going to start anything, like for example in this case we are about to start Hanuman Chalisa, let's first clear our dust. Okay, now how shall we clear our dust is that very important. What this line says is that the teacher, the things of like how teacher wipes the blackboard before starting a class, or otherwise the new lesson will get mixed with the old writing, right? So that's the reason they clean the blackboard. Second, if you see scientists, they clean their telescopes before learning through the stars, otherwise the stars will look blurry. And in every even your phone, for example, phone screen, if it is smudged, you keep wiping it so you can see it properly. In the same way, our guru's blessing is like that cloth. Teacher's blessing is like that cloth. It wipes the anger, laziness, and jealousy so the mind becomes fresh and clear, right? That is what we are trying to say in the first line. Now, the second line is that before learning anything, whether it's math, science, Hanuman Chalisa, first prepare your mind. The clean board is easier to write on, clean mirror, clean mind. That's what this line is trying to say. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I will not explain you right now, Barnav, Raghubar, Bimal, Jesu, Jodai, Kufal, Chari, purposely. I just want to understand how much you guys have understood this. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I know a lot of you guys are into something. Some of you guys are focused. Some of you guys are multitasking. I want to understand what you guys have understood. Okay, so the first question is to Harini. Okay, what did you understood from the first line? Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj, Nij Manu Mukur Sudari. What did you understood right now? What we explained in a very simple format, and it's okay. You don't be perfect, but I just want to understand what you learned.
That you're supposed to like respect your teacher,
Okay.
and then like the world will respect you, like the example you gave.
Perfect. Okay. Now, what is the second line means? Nij Manu Mukur Sudhari. Mukur means mirror. What does the second line says? This is the first line, and after comma, there is a second line. Nij Manu Mukur Sudhari. What does the second line says? And if not, that's okay. I'll say it again.
Who are you asking, Anubhav? Is that to Harani
Sorry,
or
I was gonna. Okay, I'll ask Nikita. Nikita, can you please answer that?
The second line?
That is Nij Manu Mukur Sudhari.
That you are to like respect your elders, like the teachers who are teaching you.
No, so the second line is that is the first line. Second line is about mind is a mirror. And what did we talk about the mirror? Nikita?
That it reflects who we are.
Yes, so our mind is like a mirror, and I will repeat this again, okay? Where, you know, whatever you are learning, whatever you're about to learn, you need to clean your mind so you can clearly reflect to what you're going to learn. That is what it says, okay? Understood? Your mind is like a mirror. You need to clean your mind first before you're about to initiate and do anything. Yeah? Is that clear? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Viraj, I'm going to ask you a question. Why did Hanuman Chalisa got famous compared to other mantras?
After like Tulsidas was in prison, Hanuman himself came and told him how to like say the Chalisa in Hindi. And then once he came out of prison after the monkeys, he taught everyone how to say it.
Perfect. Yes, which is perfect. Awesome. Shlok, next question is to you. Are you ready for it? When Tulsidas is saying that you clean your mirror, mind's mirror, what is that Tulsidas is trying to use to clean the mirror? What is that is being used to clean the mirror?
His teacher's feet, pollen.
Beautiful, yeah, beautiful. Awesome. Awesome answer, Shlok. Use dust of teacher's feet, he was saying. Basically, he's saying that use teacher's path or guidance to clean your mind and then proceed forward. Very nice, Shlok. Awesome answer. Mr. Dunwin, how is your red dhaga? Is it good? Okay, let me ask you another question. Mahabharata, Ramayana. When did, so okay, I already answered the question that I was going to ask you. So I'm going to change the question to you. Okay. I'll talk about food. Okay. Which is your second brain?
Your stomach.
Perfect. And why is it a second brain?
Because it's important for you.
Because it has it generates happy chemical, which is serotonin, and that happy chemical is very important for us to be for us to do right decisions for our life. If your stomach is upset, you can actually see your decisions will not be correct. So always ensure your stomach is all good and not upset. All right, I want to show quickly this video, and we will just do 10 questions for Kahoot, and we will call it a day. This video is more of you guys should be aware of just this, that we are all in America over here, but all across the world, even in the school, people are actually learning Hanuman Chalisa, and you should be aware of this. Look, I'm gonna show you a few videos, and you should be aware of this. What kids are doing. Look at this. This is school. One school.
I want to introduce you to this platform called SimilarWeb. They've kindly sponsored this video. It allows me to steal my competitors.
This another example of the school. They are already being given this information. And look, these guys are already aware of the Hanuman Chalisa. They are not that they are reading it. You guys need to know this, because our schools here are not teaching this, and at least we should be able to learn this. Why? Because it's the magic mantra and pill which the kids in India are gaining the access to. And when they are about to get into the competition and they're going to compete around the world, they're going to win. And we need to be in that winning arena. We need to be a part of it. Okay. All right. With that, I will hand it over to Shiva sir for him to run this 10 questions that were created. And let us see who wins it today. Shiva, to you.
Yes. So that's pretty good. I mean, I'm really surprised and pleased presently that some of you kids answered the questions really well that Anubhav sir already asked. So that's good. And some of these questions are not as deep as that, so it should be a cakewalk for you guys. Should be able to answer quickly, and it's already time, so let's just get quickly started. And if you could just get into the Kahoot. Your number is 722398. If you have access, you could join using that.
The MK one is me.
MK is who?
It's Millen.
Millen. MK is Millen.
Nikki, are you able to join?
Yeah, I'm joining right now. Just a second.
Okay, no worries. Take your time. Just give Nikki a little bit of time. Majority of these questions that you're gonna see today here are about the class of today. That is the topic of today, the food. So think about that part. These don't have really the Hanuman Chalisa questions yet, but that is what it is. Okay. Think,
Yeah, it didn't let me put the rest of my name.
no worries, no worries. We can get started. You guys are ready. Let's do it. Right. The Veda says Annam Brahma. What does it mean? Nice. Everybody got it right. Awesome. Food is God's energy. I'm glad you didn't answer food is yummy or something else. There you go. Let's go to the next one. All right. Where does a tiny grain of rice first gets its energy from? Nice. All of you got it right. You guys are sharp. The sun. That is correct. Let's see. Who takes care of the seed in the ground like a mother? It's a little bit tricky. We'll see. No, it's a little bit tricky. So the earth, I know the farmer is participating in that process, but it's really per the class, technically it's the mother earth, and that's why the mother is put in there just as a clue. So no one is wrong in this, but it's the earth for this class. Let's keep going. Who wakes up early, works in the hot sun, and cares for your crops? Yay, wow, that is like 3 seconds everybody answered the question. That's really good. That's really good. Good job, guys. Yes, that's the farmers. All right, let's keep going. Ishani's on fire. How do parents help food reach your plate? How? There you go, but earning money and buying it from the store. Yes. By making you cook. Wow, I didn't know there are some cooks and chefs in the classroom. Good to know. But yeah, for now we'll go with by earning money and buying it from the store. Okay, nice, good job. Next one. When food is on your plate, what does it really contain? Just rice and fruit, only farmers work.
I accidentally clicked red.
It's okay. Why? That's part of, yes, sunlight, rain, earth, farmer work, and parents' love. That's okay. I know others didn't mean to click others, but I know you all got it. All right, let's go to the next one. What happens if we eat too much candy? Should be easy.
There are two we feel strongs.
Yeah, we feel sleepy and happy. Sometimes you do, but you definitely feel grumpy and cranky. Your parents will answer that for you. Yes. So, yeah, I'm glad nobody put strong, even though I put it twice. All right. Let's see. Next one, 8. What happens when we eat fruit, rice, milk, and vegetables? Ah, awesome. Yes, everybody got it right. You feel calm, strong, and happy. Anubhav stress on this, like how it takes a little bit of time and you start feeling better after the food, and the clear difference between the junk and the good food. Yeah, I'm glad everybody answered this right. All right. Let's see. 9 out of 10. Vedas say, as is the food, so is the what? There's a clue. There you go. Awesome. Everybody got it right. It's the mind, it's the thoughts that that get affected by the food, the type of food you eat. So really cool. Really cool. All right. Last question. How does good food help us make good friends? Ah, great. Yes. By giving kind thoughts, kind words, and good friendships. That's great. I think a lot of you got it right the first time. I mean, this is the first time you're going through this class and you got it all right. That's amazing. Good job, kids. And yeah, these are just the results. Arika, you're in third. Raj and Ishani gets the first, but a lot of you guys got it. That's really cool. And Karini, Nikki, and the rest are there. I'm glad everybody was able to participate and got most of them right. So, well, another thing we have going on this week is Ganesh Chaturthi. So we'll share some sketches on the WhatsApp group with your parents. So see if you can really do nice renderings of it, and see if you can share it on the WhatsApp group so that it's festive time. So we'll be very curious to see what you got, and we'll be happy to see how you think of Ganesha in your colors and sketches. So that's all I have on above. Back to you, and anything else you want to share, and close the class for today.
No, I think we are good. We'll study the food again, and we will start by reading that first line once again, and then we will go for the next thing. What I'm gonna do is one of the teachers will share the Hanuman Chalisa that has been sang by a kid, and I want you guys to at least read it and learn it a little bit. And we want to put a little bit of energy into this and ensure that in 6 weeks we are all thorough with Hanuman Chalisa. Every day, if you do it one time in 6 weeks, you will be able to read it. That's I want at least please all the kids to learn through it, irrespective In 6 weeks, we should be able to read Hanuman Chalisa. Then we will talk about the other subjects, other topics, and other key important mantras and shlokas that we should be aware of, right? Apart from the access to the knowledge that we are getting.
Professor, just want to add one thing before we close.
Sure.
Request all of you kids, before you eat your food, be it breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever you have time, just close your eyes, express your thankfulness, gratitude towards God, towards farmers, towards parents, who actually ensured the food is offered in front of you. Keep doing this and you see what you feel like. We can actually discuss your experiences later in the weeks, but please see if you can practice this. Very simple, could be for just 2 seconds, could be for just 1 second also, that gratitude will help.
Okay. Well, have a great Ganesh Chaturthi, everybody. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.